Short Council.
Yeah, hi.
You're joining us here. We promised we'd be back when there was something that was worth the review, worth the thought and counsel of the Short Council. And here we are again. I'm here, Trevor, with the PBD All-Stars. We have Jake, Ashley, the Rhinus, and Jeremy. And here we are. It's the first episode of Season 8, Series 8.
Series cats.
And a brand new Doctor. Okay, guys, I know you're all just dying to say something, so what do you think? Peter Capaldi.
I likes new Doctor. Hated old Doctor. Loves new Doctor. Hated old Doctor.
I can't hate him.
I did it. I'm pretty sure there's photo evidence of it now. Video evidence even. Hated old Doctor.
Just let's get it out of the way. Kicking off, what's the kind of consensus about the old Doctor? I thought he looked like Frankenstein, but eventually he kind of grew in my heart, and I had an appreciation for him toward the end.
I think he was a fuck knob.
Listen, we came out with David Tennant, and everyone loves David Tennant. How can anybody stack up to David Tennant?
Yeah.
So I think that's
It's gotta be hard to follow Tennant.
you have to judge it, with that in mind. But Peter Capaldi, I do like the older Doctor. It's kind of a nice thing. I've been kind of asking for it for a little while. It's kind of a reversal, going from progressing from the old Doctor from the way back.
First Doctor's the oldest.
The oldest of the oldest Doctors.
It doesn't help that it's in black and white either. It makes him look older.
So old!
Nothing up for another. Yes, well,
But I think it kind of brings a new, kind of fresh perspective on the Doctor. It's going to hopefully diminish and or eventually eliminate this creeping romantic thing that's been going on between the Doctor and his companion ever since the new series.
Boy, I'm really happy I missed all that doo-doo.
It's, and if you think about it, it's like a weird Lolita thing, and I don't know how anybody gets into that because it's fucked up.
But he's old.
Because he's old, he's literally he even says in this episode, 2,000 years old.
Beyond 2000.
All these women are like,
I thought one man's
Actually old, not just physically.
Yeah.
So how did he jump from 900 to 2000?
Nobody knows how old the Doctor is, alright? Nobody does.
Bullshit.
Because Tiny White. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I feel like they did a really good job of showing his range in the first episode, in this episode. He's very heartfelt. There was a lot of, even he's unsure that he's Peter Capaldi.
He seemed a little scatterbrained.
Yeah. But he also had intensity. He has everything that a Doctor needs to be a Doctor, so,
Yeah, Range was definitely showing, going from the full-on batshit crazy, I have no idea what the hell's going on. But by the end, I mean, is this the spoiler alert?
Let's just wait to talk about the ending here a little bit. I really enjoyed the implied cruelty, that it kind of reinforces his alienness, that, he was like, well, but might as well only have one of us get caught, right? I mean, of course he's the Doctor, so we all knew he was gonna, come back around and save her in the end.
Got kind of Sherlocky.
Somebody said the game's afoot in the fucking episode, so
Yeah.
of course I got Sherlock.
It got kind of Sherlocky.
London.
Did you like it? No.
But yeah, they did a lot to tie this to one of the more beloved episodes. Was that a Tennant episode?
Yeah.
It was a Tennant episode. So, with the ship and the robots and all the stuff.
And the blonde chick from Underworld.
Yeah.
The girl in the
I still didn't know
fireplace?
that. I didn't want to know that. Yeah, the girl in the fireplace.
How did that ruin it?
So they're trying to ease you in. It's kind of, the spoonful of sugar with the medicine.
It's very clear to see.
Talking about multiple story threads about the whole point where he's like, I've seen this face before, I've seen this face before. Peter Capaldi the actor has been in Doctor Who 3 times before, and they're good.
The actual series are just
Do you think they'll reference that? Do you think they'll reference that directly? But because he keeps saying why did he give himself that face? Or somebody references.
There's a bunch of foreshadowing leading towards that, I felt.
And for example, YouTube and on the internet right now, BBC is trying to remind people that Peter Capaldi had been in an episode of Doctor Who specifically before.
Yeah.
He was some patrician or something in Pompeii.
He was one of the
pediatrician. Pompeii pediatrician, I'd watch that shit. It'd be
He was
interesting.
like a-
My baby's on.
Is there
my
a study
baby's
on
ass.
this to make him
My baby is made of
better?
ash.
Does that no?
It doesn't work like that.
Damn it!
I think it was something Torchwood. He played a character for Torchwood too.
I don't think that's true. Well, and if it's not, I'll just edit it out. So neither of us will be incorrect.
Hooray for editing! Alright.
Okay. So, do you think this is going to really lead up to something kind of momentous and interesting here, or is this just kind of like some false flags, get us kind of distracted from some greater mysteries?
I was going out on a limb and say that they're gonna keep hinting at it for like a good third of this run, and then the actual payout is not gonna be as big as everybody thinks it is. It's just gonna be a fun I think it's gonna be more for funsies than superior plot device.
Oh,
That's my call.
I had a crazy theory. At the end of the episode, the robot man ends up in some weird Elysium, and I think that maybe that lady is Death.
Wasn't her name
Could be.
Missy? It was
could be a
Missy.
possibility. He's
Missy.
lived a very
Missy.
long time.
Yeah.
And he hasn't
That's
died
really
yet.
Great point, Jake. Holy.
Because if the robot guy is dead, then isn't that kind of the only place he could be?
Unless it's
Well,
he doesn't have a soul, so maybe it's in some hardware program.
Well, no, but
That's
they
like-
made a good point of saying that he was more man than robot
Okay,
at the end of the episode.
but then dealing like with strictly speaking something resembling an afterlife, I mean, then that's starting to go more into the supernatural than the sci-fi.
Well, they've never disavowed the supernatural, have
They
they?
had that whole episode with the ghosts. Remember?
It's never been fully divorced from Doctor Who.
Right.
I just think it'd be a far cry for them to start peering into the realm of death. It's like cloning or time travel. It's a plot device that unnecessarily complicates a story. So
So of course they're gonna have it in Doctor Who. Come on.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
So what about Clara? She's kind of a contentious character with a lot of Whovians. What are you guys' take?
I likes the Clara. I think I like. She's got a better wit than a lot of the companions that I've seen off and on. She's got really good banter.
Wit as in sax.
Sure, that too.
She got
Whatever.
Moxie.
Done and
She got Moxie.
Faster than Clara.
What I've seen of her in the previous season with previous Doctor is that she is the same, and it seems like she sucks more now.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's really got the wind taken out of her sails.
Yeah.
And they really addressed that kind of in the episode with, the whole "I'm not your boyfriend," can we change him back? Wait, no, you want to change him back? That's not
She
a
was
thing.
real upset about that, like crying almost that he wasn't young.
They also brought up her narcissism a lot.
Oh yeah, like a
That-
bunch.
yeah,
a bunch.
I don't
They
get that
like
thread, but
they even like full on it wasn't even subtle. It was like, well, Strax is giving her the medical, and he's like looking into her subconscious. He's like narcissism, and he's just like listing off a bunch of stuff.
they straight up said no.
The doctor full on says she's
egotistical.
egotistical. She's a control freak. It's just like, this is why you should not like her.
They
And
did
I liked
a
her.
pretty good job of listing reasons.
It was not subtlety was not a part of this episode for her.
As I've discussed previously on Jake and Trevor View Everything Live.
Hey, that's a show.
That's a show that we're both on. But no, as I've discussed there, I've often hated Clara because she is the most special girl that there's ever been on the show. And I'm tired of fucking special girls. I just want some regular girls. Like
Or a
like
dude.
Donna.
Okay.
Or a dude.
Yeah.
Or a dude.
A dude.
How about you give him a bro to pal around in time and space with?
Well, here's a question though. Do you think that moving more towards a less romantic storyline will hurt the fan base?
No.
No.
That's what I was going to
The
say.
fan base is screaming for an older.
Yeah, and they've been.
Yeah, but maybe they were people that wanted an older.
Apparently, I wasn't the only one that really
Yeah.
despised last season. Or the
It is
last
like
run,
that
so-
though. With Doctor Who and Harry Potter, I've noticed girls are totally fine with being like, I want to have sex with fictional characters.
Not this person right here.
Do you think there will be Peter Capaldi fanfiction? I already know.
It's already there.
It's
It happened the day after he was announced as Doctor Who.
Shit, people were anticipating it and writing fanfic for it, man. Shit.
Somebody wrote one 5 years ago, and they're like, "Fuck."
What are you, Jake?
There's an entire universe of speculative Doctor Who's, different actors that people thought in the community would be the next Doctor
We're
Who.
joking around, but no, this shit.
This is all real.
This is really
and
real.
I'm going to point down here, and you can go to this link and find some of these.
I really like the lizard lady whose name I forgot because she had.
Because he's
Yeah,
got the
that's
fucking memory.
Trevor
of
knows that,
stuff.
like, I know,
Three
I
times,
know,
yeah.
like a million times. She definitely has character. I like her character in general, but also I feel like that also ties into the easing people into this new Doctor. So we have a familiar storyline.
Hey, look!
and
You
then
know
familiar
this one?
character.
You know these guys?
There's a whole fucking cup of sugar in this episode to make the spoonful of medicine go down.
Oh yeah, no. And I guess let's just kind of go full bore here and talk about how things kind of ended up in the episode. I think the biggest scoop of sugar that they added was the Matt Smith cameo at the end.
yeah.
Phone call to her.
Absolutely.
Well, she didn't get a proper goodbye though, so.
That's fair.
So what?
You know,
Life isn't a fucking full of proper goodbyes. It could have been real, gritty.
Well, this is TV.
Oh wait, no. The Doctor isn't gritty. Fuck that shit.
Especially that doctor.
If you saw
Well,
his,
Which is why I did
I'm
watch
sorry.
it.
Go ahead.
as I say, if you saw his regeneration, it was like the longest regeneration probably of all the Doctors.
Yeah.
Because they were totally milking it. So to have him pop back in, I wasn't actually that shocked.
That's kind of what I mean. You know, he had his moment. You know, where he could sit there and don't get me wrong, they definitely milked Tennant's for all it was worth, and he maybe even went too far with the whole "I don't want to go."
No, it was great.
Sorry.
It was like once again, Clara is directly the surrogate for the audience. It's like, no, it's okay. Here, see, here's Matt Smith. He's here, and he wants you to like this new Doctor.
Yeah.
So you gonna like him, buddy?
Everybody liked this guy.
Well, that's better than I don't want to go. Because can you imagine that?
I think you're right, though. I think you're right. They didn't need to really just especially at the very end of the episode. It's like he had already won me over by that point. I was like, he's fucking awesome by this point. The whole transition from him being like almost a bumbling idiot at the very fucking beginning to him being full on kind of stone cold.
I don't make threats, but I do keep promises. And I promise you, I shall cause you more trouble than you bargained for.
What did you think of the automatons, the robots that were trying to turn themselves into men?
Dumb! Really? Okay, the characters themselves, the idea of them are good. Good characters. The characters themselves, though, dumb! Hey! I'm fighting you! Hold your breath! I'm fighting you! Hold your breath!
They are
Where did you go?
They are literally
What the
stupid.
fuck?
You got me there.
Dumb as hell.
But-
Dumb as hell.
But very neat.
You could break them very easily, I feel, because like he just reached up and ripped that guy's face.
Well, he also defeated him the first time you met him by just pouring water over him.
Oh.
And all you have to do is hold your fucking breath and they'll leave you alone.
Well, you know, that's the thing about the angels. What I remember is that you just have to look
pain
at
in the
them.
ass, actually.
As
There's
long
a lot
as you
of-
look at them,
Yeah, there's a lot of monsters in
have-
the Doctor Who universe where it's like, oh, let's stand on one foot or you'll be murdered. Like, come on.
They're almighty beings with the simplest of flaws.
And the other thing I wanted to mention was I kind of, even though it was, again, sort of feeling like they were trying to explain to the audience why this was okay, I think that the idea that he was making himself younger because he was becoming more self-conscious about growing older, that when he was finally comfortable again, kind of revealing the fact that he is an older man in this regeneration, I kind of think that's a neat angle on
He
it.
was going through a midlife crisis.
Yeah, but nope,
But he's
I'm an old
also
guy.
trying to remind himself something. Why did I choose this face out of everything else?
Right.
Yeah.
He could have just bought
So
a
it's
Camaro.
No, Brigadier, you'll damage my car.
The robots were really appropriate too. They tied everything together very nicely in this episode. I can say that much, because also the robots. He's talking to the robot and he uses the thing. The first time I heard it was in John Dice at the End. I know it's been in a lot of things where it's like, oh, you have a broom, you replace the handle, you replace the bristles. Is it the same broom? No, it does the same thing. And him being regenerated is kind of all of his parts are being replaced.
Right, he was talking about
He's still
the
being the
robot,
same
but he was
Doc.
talking about him. Too.
Right, and when he was holding up the mirror to the robot, he was also seeing himself there. It was all in a very neat package in this entire episode. It was well done.
Well put together, absolutely.
Symbolism!
Yeah.
Okay, so we also saw in the preview for next week, the next episode, we're looking at some more Dalek action.
Aliens minus aliens plus Daleks.
Ashley, you seem kind of disappointed about the return of the Daleks. Why is
I'm kind of
that?
tired of them, to be honest. Maybe it's because I'm like rewatching all the episodes and I've seen the Daleks. I don't know. I'm just ready for them to be put on the back burner for a long time.
I'm in agreement. I'd like to see some kind of new alien menaces, and I mean, there's certainly enough from the heyday that they could go mine if they want to feature classic monsters.
I think the BBC is so worried about the decision to go older that they're turning and alienating their younger crowd, which they've been trying to recapture with the younger Doctors, that they're really reaching out to try and get everybody on board with this. So
See, it's still Doctor Who, you guys.
Yeah, so I honestly, from that viewpoint, it's a real logical move to do dogs. I think the first couple episodes are probably
It's a safe move.
are going to be some fan service-y, get everybody nice and cushy in first class, get the footstool up, and then we'll start getting some
Well, I
fucking
mean,
action.
we do have like a new
into it.
character, the lady at the end.
Yes,
We'll
and
peek into something.
I wonder if she's. I think the most likely example is that they're going to kind of maybe try to make you think she might be River at some point.
Or Death. I like the
Actually,
Death
when she,
idea.
like, my lover.
Yeah, my boyfriend.
My boyfriend. I was like, well, but.
I think she's a
River
time lady. I think she's a time lady, but I don't think that she's River.
Crazy.
I think she's Death. I'm gonna stay by Death. I'm gonna put my money on Death.
So would you guys say that it's a successful first episode, first outing with the new Doctor, Jeremy?
Sure. I mean, it opened with the T-Rex.
Yeah.
Which we didn't
How
talk
can you
at
go
all.
wrong?
Big
That
shocking.
was awesome.
Hey, who knew the Doctor spoke dinosaur?
And horse.
He's Dr.
And horse,
Doolittle
yeah.
now.
And horse.
Doctor, this is the Doctor who is Dr. Doolittle. Yeah.
Dr. Doolittle.
Dr. Doolittle.
Did it satisfy Ashley?
It was alright, yeah. I would have liked less screen time with Clara, more screen time with Peter, but it was good.
We'll get there. Jake?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I haven't seen most of the last season, so yeah. No, I definitely like Peter Capaldi. I want to see where it's going. I'm hooked. I'm in.
I'm in too. And you will be back and in next week, and hopefully you'll be in too, and you'll be here for another episode of The Short Council. Good night.
Peanut butter disaster.